If you feel spiritually dry right now, like God feels distant, like your prayers feel empty, like you're saying the words, but it doesn't feel like they're going anywhere, like you're trying, but something just isn't connecting anymore, I want you to hear this. My name is Dwayne, and this is A Cult to Christ. What you're feeling is something many believers go through, but almost no one talks honestly about. And if you don't understand what's happening, you'll start believing things about God that simply are not true. You'll start thinking something is wrong with you, that you've done something to cause this, that maybe God is pulling away from you because you're not where you should be, that maybe you've lost something and you don't know how to get it back. And if you sit in that long enough, it starts to wear on you because it's not just dryness anymore. It becomes doubt. But that's not what's happening. God has not moved. He has not stepped away from you, and he has not withdrawn his presence. He has not changed in any way towards you. But something has changed, and you can feel it. Your prayers don't feel the same. Your desire isn't as strong as it used to be. What once felt alive now feels quiet. What once felt clear now feels still. And that silence doesn't just feel quiet. It feels heavy. Because you remember what it used to feel like when things felt alive, when prayer felt real, when your desire was strong. And now it feels like you're reaching and nothing is reaching back. So you start asking, where is God? But here's what most people don't realize. Spiritual dryness is not always distance from God. Sometimes it's a transition, an invitation to go deeper, but not in the way you've been used to. Because when your faith is built on feelings, everything feels strong as long as the feelings are there. But feelings change. They rise and they fall. And if your faith is built on that, it will always feel unstable. God is not building your faith on emotion. He is building your faith on truth, on something that does not move, even when your feelings do. And there comes a point where he allows the emotional side to quiet down. Not to push you away, but to strengthen you. Because now you have a choice. Will you still seek him when you don't feel him? Will you still pray when it feels quiet? Will you still trust him when there's no emotional confirmation? Because real faith is not built in the moments where everything feels strong. It's built in the moments where everything feels still. When you don't feel anything at all, but you choose him anyway. When you keep showing up, even when nothing feels like it's happening. And this is where many believers struggle. Because we've been conditioned to think that feeling equals closeness, and no feeling equals distance. So when the feeling fades, we assume God has too. But that's not true. God is just as present in the silence as he is in the moments, just as near in stillness as he is in intensity. And sometimes the silence is where he does his deepest work, but not in the way you expect. Because silence forces you to face what's actually inside of you. The distractions are gone. The feelings are gone. The emotional reinforcement is gone. And now you're left with your thoughts, your habits, your attention, what you actually turn to when nothing feels spiritual. And that's where the transformation begins. Because silence exposes what noise hides. Silence is not empty. Silence is where healing begins. Silence is where transformation starts. But we live in a world that avoids silence. We fill every moment with noise, distractions, entertainment, constant stimulation, because silence makes us uncomfortable. But that's exactly where God meets you. Not in the noise, but in the stillness. Because in silence, everything else is stripped away, and you are left with what is real. And that's where he begins to work on you. He's teaching you to seek him, not just respond to how you feel, to be still when everything in you wants to reach for distraction, to sit in his presence without needing something to happen, to remain when your mind wants to wander, to stay when your emotions want to pull you away. Because most people don't struggle with distance from God. They struggle with stillness. Closeness to God is not found in constant noise. It's found in stillness. It's found in the quiet. It's found in learning to remain even when nothing else feels active. And this is where it gets honest. Because sometimes spiritual dryness reveals something. Not that God is distant, but that we've become distracted. We've trained our minds for noise, constant input, constant stimulation, constant engagement. And then we come before God and expect stillness to feel natural, but it doesn't, because we haven't trained ourselves for it. So this isn't punishment, and it's not rejection. This is refinement. God is not pulling away from you. He's drawing you into something deeper than what you're used to. A faith that isn't dependent on feeling. A relationship that isn't dependent on moments. Something real. Something steady. Something that doesn't disappear when everything gets quiet. And if you're in that place right now, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not abandoned. You are not failing. You are not losing your faith. You are being refined. You are being strengthened. And you are being anchored. So don't pull away. Don't isolate. Don't stop praying just because it feels quiet. Don't stop seeking him just because you don't feel him. Stay consistent. Stay faithful. Stay rooted in truth and not in feeling. Because God is still there and he is still working. Even when you can't feel it. Even when you don't see it. even when everything else feels still. And if you stay in it, you will come out stronger, not more emotional, not more dependent on feeling, but stronger, more grounded, and deeper than you've ever been before.